Ryan Garcia. I mean, that fight has question marks. It's unfinished business. You know, we're on a clean playing field, even playing field. We know that I'm going to be victorious. There is no bad blood with Eddie. You know, if an opportunity comes this way, you know, where we can work together, then it will happen. If not, then, you know, I appreciate Eddie for everything that he's done for me. He put me, you know, in position. He gave me a chance in the beginning. And I couldn't appreciate him enough for that.
Ryan Garcia recently confronted Devin Haney during a live discussion about their potential rematch. The two fighters had previously met in a highly anticipated bout on April 20th, 2024 at the Barclays Center. Garcia initially won by majority decision, having knocked Haney down 3 times during the fight. However, the victory was later overturned to a no contest after Garcia tested positive for the banned substance ostarine. As a result, Garcia was handed a 1-year suspension by the New York State Athletic Commission. Despite this, there are still those who believe Devin Haney could defeat Ryan Garcia in a rematch. One analyst stated, "I do think Haney can win, especially if he avoids Garcia's power and uses his own style to outmaneuver him. After a fight, you immediately see what you did wrong, and that's how you improve. I believe Haney could correct his mistakes and take the win next time." The analyst emphasized that both fighters would benefit from a rematch to settle the score. Recently, during a live interaction, Devin Haney shared his desire for a rematch, but made it clear that Garcia would need to undergo year-round random drug testing through the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, VADA, before any future bout could take place. Haney stressed the need for a fair and clean competition. In response, Garcia sharply criticized VADA, claiming that their services were unethical, and that he would never use them again, maintaining his innocence in the matter. The future of the rematch remains uncertain, with both fighters continuing to engage in heated exchanges on social media. Haney is scheduled to return to the ring in March 2025, while Garcia's comeback date is still up in the air due to his suspension and ongoing wrist injury. In their April 2024 fight, Garcia's initial victory was marred by the controversy over his positive drug test. With the decision being changed to a no contest, Garcia faces financial penalties and the consequences of his suspension. As both fighters prepare for their next steps, the question of whether they will meet again in the ring remains unresolved. Folks, there's a major development in the world of boxing. Ryan Garcia, the rising star, has tested positive for a banned substance just 1 day before and on the day of his unexpected victory over Devin Haney last month. This information comes from a letter issued by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association. The tests were conducted ahead of the fight, but the results didn't come to light until after the match. This news has ignited tension between Garcia and Haney. Following the revelation, Haney has expressed hesitance about agreeing to a rematch, pointing to the integrity of the sport and the impact of Garcia's failed test. In response, Garcia took to social media, stating he would never give him anything again, making it clear he has no intention of facing Haney in the future. To add more fuel to the fire, Garcia made a notable appearance at Gervonta Davis's fight against Frank Martin in Las Vegas, wearing a shirt that boldly said, "Rematch me." This was seen as a direct challenge to Davis, with whom Garcia has had a tense relationship. Despite the provocative move, Garcia and Davis were spotted sharing a friendly embrace after the event, leaving fans guessing about a potential future showdown between them. As of January 2025, both fighters are moving forward with their careers. Haney has announced plans to return to the ring in March 2025, though he has expressed doubts about a rematch with Garcia anytime soon. Garcia's suspension is set to end in April 2025, and he's expressed a desire to face other opponents before even considering a bout with Haney. Despite all the drama, many are still debating the real significance of their fight. Some believe Garcia's win over Haney was due to pure skill, not performance-enhancing drugs. However, others argue that if PEDs were involved, it could significantly tarnish Garcia's reputation and cause lasting damage to his career, which is part of why Haney is now suing him for assault and battery. The boxing community is also weighing in. Prominent figures, including Turki Al-Sheikh, chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, have named a Garcia-Haney rematch among the top 5 fights they'd like to see in 2025, underlining the global appeal of their rivalry. The animosity between Garcia and Haney extends beyond the ring. As two of the brightest stars in the lightweight division, their names were often mentioned together in discussions about the future of boxing. The lead up to their 2024 fight was filled with trash talk and heated exchanges, making their rivalry one of the most anticipated in recent memory. Ryan Garcia, famous for his speed and charisma, stood in stark contrast to Devin Haney's meticulous and technical technical fighting style. This clash of personalities made their matchup one of the most highly anticipated fights of 2024. However, following their initial bout in late 2024, Haney filed a lawsuit against Garcia, accusing him of fraud, battery, and breach of contract due to Garcia's positive PED test. In response, Garcia made it clear that he would not entertain the idea of a rematch unless Haney drops the lawsuit. He emphasized, "We'll talk about a rematch only after the lawsuit is dropped." Oscar De La Hoya, Garcia's promoter, has dismissed the need for a rematch, claiming that Garcia had already dominated Haney in their first encounter. De La Hoya remarked, "I don't see any reason for Ryan to face Devin again. He already destroyed him in their first fight." In an interview with Michelle Joy Phelps from Fight Hub TV, De La Hoya spoke further on the issue. "It's good to see you here in London. You look great, both of you. A little chilly, but we're managing. Now, let's talk about the idea of a rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. If Ryan wants it, then that's his choice, but personally, I see no reason for it. Ryan already defeated him, and that's the end of the story. We should focus on making the best possible fights. And there are plenty of exciting matchups for Ryan out there, like with fighters such as Teofimo Lopez. We can create incredible events without the need for a rematch." De La Hoya was then asked about a potential fight involving Ryan Garcia and another fighter later in 2025. He responded, "Absolutely. If that fight makes sense and it's what the fans want to see, we'll make it happen. We have to give the fans what they want, and I'm all for putting together the biggest and best matchups. I may sound repetitive, but I've been a fighter and now a promoter, and I still think like a fighter. I want to see the best face off with the best." When this fight finally took place, it delivered thrilling action. Garcia showed his incredible power, while Haney demonstrated impressive resilience. However, the post-fight drama surrounding Garcia's positive test cast a shadow over the contest. The overturning of Garcia's victory and his suspension quickly became the central story in their rivalry. Garcia has strongly denied knowingly taking any banned substances, suggesting that his positive test was due to contamination in his supplements. While this defense is not unusual in professional sports, it has done little to repair the damage to his reputation. Critics have pointed to the incident as a blemish on his career, and even some of his own supporters have voiced disappointment. Despite this, Garcia remains defiant. His social media posts continue to mix motivational messages, fight announcements, and sharp comments aimed at Haney and other rivals. His statement that he won't give Haney a rematch suggests that Garcia still feels in control of the situation. For him, a rematch isn't just a chance for redemption, but an opportunity to restore his legacy. On the other hand, Devin Haney has taken a more measured and strategic approach. By not committing to a rematch, Haney positions himself as a fighter who values integrity and fairness in the sport. He has openly criticized fighters who fail drug tests, claiming it undermines the competitive spirit of boxing. Haney's decision to seek other opponents first is also tactical, as it allows him to distance himself from the controversy while continuing to build his own legacy. However, some critics suggest that Haney is avoiding a rematch because the first fight exposed weaknesses in his performance. The rivalry between Garcia and Haney has clearly split fans. Garcia's supporters argue that the positive test was an honest mistake and that his performance in the ring, including the 3 knockdowns, proves he was superior to Haney. On the flip side, Haney's fans view Garcia as a compromised fighter, with his victory tainted by the failed drug test. For them, Haney's decision to not pursue a rematch is a stand based on principle rather than avoidance. A rematch between Garcia and Haney would undoubtedly be a massive event, both in terms of revenue and viewership, making it one of the most anticipated bouts in recent memory. The stakes would be extremely high, with each fighter looking to make a statement. For Garcia, it would be a chance for redemption, proving that he can defeat Haney without any controversy. For Haney, the opportunity to silence critics who feel he benefited from the no contest decision would be on the line. From a technical standpoint, both fighters would need to adjust. Garcia's aggressive style and powerful left hook would be crucial, but he would have to enhance his defense to avoid Haney's sharp counterpunches. Haney, renowned for his boxing intelligence, would likely focus on evading Garcia's power punches while controlling the tempo with his jab and movement. The Garcia-Haney rivalry goes beyond personal animosity. It also highlights wider issues in boxing. The controversy surrounding their matchup has sparked fresh debates about testing protocols, the fairness of retroactive penalties, and the role of social media in promoting fights. Regulatory bodies like the World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA) have faced scrutiny for inconsistencies in handling positive test cases, cases. Situations like Garcia's bring to light the need for clearer rules on supplement usage and potential contamination. Moreover, the role of social media in boxing has changed the way rivalries unfold. Fighters like Garcia now engage in trash talk and challenges in real time, rather than just at press conferences, often through platforms like Twitter and Instagram. This shift has made boxing feuds more accessible and exciting for fans, but it has also blurred the lines between real competition and entertainment. While the potential rematch remains the focal point, both Garcia and Haney have other possibilities. Garcia's presence at the Gervonta Davis fight signals his interest in a rematch with Tank, as their first bout was a financial success, and a second one could attract even greater attention. Meanwhile, Haney has been linked to potential fights with Shakur Stevenson and Vasyl Lomachenko, both of whom would provide Haney opportunities to further solidify his standing among the lightweight elite. Boxing commentator Adam Smith has suggested that a rematch is essential, ideally at a mutually agreed weight, to put the controversy to rest and establish who is truly the superior fighter. He emphasized that such a rematch would be crucial to clearing the air and determining the ultimate winner. Some analysts argue that a rematch between the two fighters may never happen due to ongoing disputes and unresolved contractual issues. Concerns have emerged regarding Garcia's decision to bypass voluntary anti-doping testing, which could complicate the negotiation process. Despite these obstacles, both fighters have expressed a strong desire to meet in the ring again. Haney has made the rematch a top priority for 2025, stating, "It's personal for me. I want to set the record straight." On the other hand, Garcia insists that legal matters must be addressed before any talks about the rematch can proceed, highlighting the importance of resolving the lawsuit first. The heated debate surrounding the potential rematch has attracted attention from some of boxing's greatest figures, including legends like Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Bernard Hopkins. Their comments not only emphasize the significance of the dispute, but also shed light on its broader impact on the sport. Speaking on his podcast, Tyson called for the fighters to settle their differences in the ring, stating, "Ryan and Devin need to settle this in the ring. That's how champions prove themselves. Forget the legal stuff, get in there and fight." Tyson's words struck a chord with fans who believe that the essence of the sport lies in competition, not in courtrooms. Mayweather, however, took a different approach, stressing the importance of maintaining the integrity of boxing. He stated, "If there's any doubt about fairness, you can't just jump into a rematch. Both fighters need to be clean, disciplined, and ready for the world to believe in the outcome." Bernard Hopkins, a longtime proponent of boxing rivalries, expressed his frustration with the delays, saying, "This is the kind of fight that could bring back the golden days of boxing. Fans want closure, and Ryan versus Devin could be the fight of the year if it happens." Since their controversial first fight, both Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney have shown significant development as fighters. Garcia, in particular, has used his suspension period to focus on strength and conditioning. Training footage has shown him working on endurance and defensive skills, areas where he struggled during their initial encounter. This evolution in their skill sets only adds to the intrigue surrounding a potential rematch.
We feel great. She's a little cold, but we're okay.
It is a little chilly out here at the moment.
You can't ruin the outfit. You can't wear the jacket today.
Yes. Well, I have to ask you, Turkiala Sheikh's #1 fight that he wants to make is going to be the rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. What do you make of that?
If Ryan Garcia wants it, then that's what he wants. But me personally, I see no need for it. Ryan Garcia destroyed him, and that's the bottom line. So I think we have to make the best fights possible. And there's fighters here like Teofimo. There's fighters here that we can match up Ryan with anyone and make a terrific event.
I was going to ask you, Teo's right here. Obviously, that was one of the fights I said I wanted to see the most in 2025. Conversations, possibly. I know that he's a little bit intertwined in something complicated at the moment, but obviously, if and should he be free later in the year, maybe a fight between those two?
Yeah, absolutely. If they're the best at the moment, if that's what people want to see, we have to make it. I mean, look, I sound like a broken record here, but I was once a fighter, and I'm a promoter now, but I think like a fighter. I want to.
Garcia's incredible speed and powerful left hook remain his most dangerous assets. His ability to land knockdowns against Haney in their first fight showcased both his strength and accuracy. However, experts have noted that Garcia's habit of lowering his guard makes him vulnerable to counterattacks. If he can tighten up his defense, he could become an even more formidable challenger. On the other hand, Haney has consistently faced top-level competition, sharpening his skills inside the ring. His fights with Shakur Stevenson and George Kambosos Jr. highlighted his enhanced footwork and adaptability. Haney's technical proficiency, including his precise jab and control of the fight's tempo, are what define his style. His resilience and poise under pressure were evident in his bout with Garcia, where he recovered from multiple knockdowns. Critics, however, question Haney's knockout power, arguing that against a heavy hitter like Garcia, he may struggle to finish the fight decisively. To succeed, Haney will need to maximize his defense and avoid engaging in too many exchanges. Legal issues often cloud major boxing rivalries, and the Garcia-Haney saga is no different. Haney's lawsuit against Garcia has become a significant subplot in their rivalry, highlighting the growing intersection of sports and legal battles. Haney, in response to criticism of his knockout power, defiantly stated, "People who say I lack knockout power are those who haven't stepped into the ring with me. If I don't have knockout power, come test me, walk through my punches, and then we'll see. As long as I'm winning, I've come this far without knockout power, so why stop now?" Haney's legal team has accused Garcia of misconduct, claiming that a failed drug test from their initial fight compromised its integrity. Garcia's team has countered by arguing that the failed test was due to accidental contamination. Until the legal matter is resolved, both fighters remain in limbo. Promoters are concerned that the ongoing lawsuit could delay a rematch indefinitely, underscoring the growing influence of legal factors in the sport of boxing. A Garcia versus Haney rematch would be a highly lucrative event, with projections suggesting that it could generate millions in pay-per-view and ticket sales. Promoters and networks are eager to take advantage of this rivalry to further boost boxing's global popularity. Industry analysts predict that a high-profile rematch could bring in over $100 million in revenue, especially if it's
been now.
I do feel like Ryan has got better since the amateurs, but I don't feel like he got that much better. It won't be no different than the amateurs. In the amateurs, we were like very competitive. We would go back and forth. But now I don't feel like it would be a close fight with us.
And that's what I did. And now we're here.
When you guys squared off that night in Anaheim, there was a little bit of tension, but it was mostly friendly between you two in that moment. It clearly has changed in the build-up for this fight. For you, Ryan, what made it change?
Just growing up and just, I don't know, I just matured and I just don't like him. That's it. I'm gonna go after him, I'm gonna go get him.
Held in a major venue such as Las Vegas or Saudi Arabia. Reports suggest that major brands are eager to sponsor the upcoming event due to the fighters' marketability and their global fan bases. The financial incentives surrounding the fight are adding pressure on both fighters to settle their disputes and proceed with the bout. On social media, the debate has intensified, with hashtags like #GarciaHaney2 and #SettleItInTheRing trending regularly. This divide among fans mirrors the wider debate within the sport itself. Supporters of Garcia argue that his knockdowns in their first fight demonstrate his superiority, and they dismiss the controversy over his PED test as a simple mistake. They urge Haney to stop avoiding the rematch and face him again in the ring. On the other hand, Haney's supporters view Garcia as a discredited fighter whose win was tainted by the positive test, applauding Haney's decision to prioritize integrity over financial gain. The passionate reactions from fans on both sides are raising the stakes, making the potential rematch even more compelling. The Garcia-Haney saga is also prompting critical questions about the future of boxing. The controversy has reignited debates over the effectiveness and fairness of testing protocols, with growing calls for stricter regulations and greater transparency. Additionally, the rivalry highlights the power dynamics between fighters and their promoters. Although fighters like Garcia and Haney have significant independence, their decisions are often influenced by the financial interests of their promotional teams. Ultimately, this saga underscores boxing's ongoing image issues. While high-profile controversies may attract attention, they risk alienating fans who desire authentic competition. If legal issues are resolved, Garcia and Haney could potentially agree to a rematch in late 2025, offering closure for fans and potentially reshaping both fighters' careers. However, if negotiations falter, Garcia might turn to other opponents like Devin Davis or Teofimo Lopez, keeping his career on track but leaving the Haney rivalry unresolved. Likewise, Haney could seek out matches with fighters like Shakur Stevenson or Vasily Lomachenko. While these bouts could bolster his resume, they may not generate the same excitement as a rematch with Garcia. The rivalry between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney remains one of boxing's most compelling stories, filled with athletic brilliance, personal animosity, and public controversy. Both fighters, young and immensely talented, have been the center of intense debates since their first meeting in 2024. That bout in which Garcia knocked Haney down 3 times before securing a decision win was later overshadowed by Garcia's failed drug test, resulting in the fight being ruled a no contest. This twist has only fueled the tension between the two fighters and sparked ongoing discussions about the possibility of a rematch. Many people may not realize this, but you actually defeated Ryan Garcia in the amateurs. How do you think that would play out today? I do think Ryan has improved since the amateurs, but I don't believe he's improved by that much. I don't think it would be much different from our amateur days. We were very competitive back then, constantly going back and forth, but now I honestly don't think it would be a close fight. I know what I bring to the table, and we're here now. When you two faced off that night in Anaheim, there was a bit of tension, but it seemed mostly friendly between you. Clearly things have shifted as we approach this fight. Ryan, what changed for you? Just growing up, maturing. I just don't like him anymore, that's all. I'm going after him. Simple as that. For Ryan Garcia, the stakes are incredibly high. After spending much of his suspension year focusing on rebuilding both his physical and mental game, his training videos show a renewed focus on defense and endurance, areas that were criticized following the first fight. Garcia's explosive left hook and speed remain his strong suits, but he understands that a rematch with Haney will require a more disciplined and strategic approach. Publicly, Garcia has maintained a defiant stance, dismissing Haney's criticisms and portraying himself as the victim of an unfair system. However, his actions, like appearing at public events with provocative messages aimed at his rivals, suggest that he's fully aware of the importance of controlling the narrative in this rivalry. On the other hand, Devin Haney continues to solidify his reputation as a disciplined and principled fighter. He has used the fallout from Garcia's failed drug test to highlight his commitment to clean competition and fair play. Haney has also been vocal about his reluctance to grant Garcia a rematch, emphasizing the importance of maintaining the sport's integrity. Haney has stayed active, facing top-tier opponents like Shakur Stevenson and George Kambosos Jr., sharpening his skills and addressing criticisms about his power and finishing ability. His calm, calculated approach in the face of Garcia's provocation shows his mental strength, an asset that will be crucial in a potential rematch. However, the legal disputes between the two add another layer of complexity to their rivalry. Haney's lawsuit against Garcia, which accuses him of misconduct and breach of contract,
This is my secret bro. Steroids gang. I'm looking big.
Star boxer Ryan Garcia has tested positive for a performance-enhancing substance both the day before and on the day of a surprising victory over Devin Haney last month. This news comes from a letter by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association. The testing samples were collected prior to the fight, but the results only surfaced afterward.
Has become a major obstacle in negotiations for a rematch. Garcia has made it clear that he won't engage in any discussions until the lawsuit is dropped, further stalling any potential resolution. Promoters and analysts are concerned that the ongoing litigation might prevent this highly anticipated rematch from happening, leaving fans disappointed at the missed opportunity to witness one of the most awaited fights in recent history. Boxing legends and analysts have shared their opinions on the ongoing Garcia-Haney saga, each offering unique perspectives that highlight its significance. Mike Tyson has called for a rematch, stressing the importance of champions proving their skills in the ring. On the other hand, Floyd Mayweather Jr. has taken a more cautious approach, emphasizing the need to ensure a fair and clean competition before moving forward. These contrasting views illustrate the broader debate within the boxing community, where opinions on the rivalry are sharply divided. Some believe Ryan Garcia is a talented fighter deserving of a second chance, while others regard Devin Haney as the rightful victor, embodying the principles of integrity and discipline. If that's the claim and you put up a challenge for him to get back to the weight he needs, maybe double down on the testing, one analyst suggested. But if that fight happens, it's going to be a big one. As for when the fight might take place, there's still uncertainty. I believe it will happen, but how soon? One expert remarked. He's going to be banned until May, which isn't much time, but he really needs to fight. I told him recently that after such a tough loss, it might be wise to have a comeback fight to regain some confidence before facing someone like Garcia. Given Haney's long time out of the ring, many are advising that he should take a lower stakes fight before facing Garcia again. When you've taken a beating like that and been away from the ring for over a year, it's important to get back in the ring before taking on someone like Ryan. One analyst commented, "The question remains, should Garcia and Haney settle their rivalry in the ring, or has the controversy surrounding their feud become too significant to move past?" What's your take? Was this a legitimate setback, or is there more going on behind the scenes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest boxing drama, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Knockout Updates. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of action, and check out our other videos. Until next time, stay tuned and stay passionate.